Hey folks, next Tuesday, November 5th, is Election Day in Gilmer County. Early voting has started and it will end November 1st here this Friday. Dallas Miller, former Post 1 commissioner, resigned, empty seat, and there's 5 candidates on the ballot this Tuesday for Post 1 Commissioner Election Day Tuesday. And I'm here with Jerry Tuso, one of the candidates. Mr. Tuso, how are you today?
I'm just fine. I appreciate you having me to come in and speak.
Let's start here, and these are the first 2 questions I always ask. Now, I know you can identify on the ballot, but because this is a special election, party affiliation was not necessary. It's an open election. Did you affiliate with a party?
Yes, I did affiliate with the Republican Party.
Tell the viewers out there, why are you a Republican? What makes you a Republican, Jerry?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I've been working in the Republican Party in this county for over 14 years and has held the position of chairman and vice chairman during that period. And we've always been very conservative in that way. Our main job is to make sure that good conservative people are elected. And I think that came out with the election with Donald Trump, Steve Gooch, and Doug Collins. So we get good people elected.
All right, well, let's move to this. You have run for Post Commissioner before.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Why again?
Well, my background and the things that I have done make me feel like I still have plenty of time to contribute. And I want to talk about that just for a second. I'm not just basing it on my business experience, on my Republican experience, but also on my experience of being a servant, of working with Faith Open Charity, for example, GRASP, Kids First, Seamless Summer. I go on mission trips and help people there. So I am a servant, and most of my jobs in industries were as a servant, and that's my life, and that's what I do, and that's what I want to do again.
What are some of the issues in the county that brought you back to run? Now, I vividly remember it wasn't long ago that you interviewed right here with me running for Post 2 at that time. Mm-hmm. And I know some of the issues then, but let's take some of those issues and the issues now. What are some of the biggest issues that you were sitting at home and saying, I'm going to run because I want to make a difference, or I have concerns, or whatever that may be in Gilmer County?
Well, there's actually 3 that are very obvious to everyone right now. And that's number 1 is the swimming pool, not in order of importance, but number 1, swimming pool. Number 2, roads and bridges. Number 3, what do we do to get small business, medium-sized business into the county? We've got a lot of beautiful land in the eastern part, especially more level, and we need to do something out there.
All right, so you said 3 things. Let's go with the pool. Now, when you say the pool is important, are you in favor of building the pool, opposed to building the pool? What's your position on that all around?
Well, I'm going to have to do some more study, but initially I want to say that the pool, as far as recreation for adults and children, is pretty much in my mind a must. It equals the tennis courts and the basketball and the picnic area. It's all part of what recreation that we need in the county. Now, how do we do this? Well, we found out we can't go across the river and have it, so we go find another place. Where is that? Well, let's dig up the hole we got and put it there. Is that a valid thing to do? I don't know yet. It is a choice, but there's got to be some other properties somewhere where it's not going to have that horrendous cost. I'm not for or against yet. I'm saying it's a thing we need, but I need more study on it.
I know you used to come over. Well, you've been to several commission meetings.
Yes.
Put it like that. And what about, you brought up the second issue of roads and bridges. Why roads and bridges?
Well, because it's a big issue, not only to appease homeowners that don't have paved roads, but it's a big issue as far as safety is concerned too, because we have to have good roads that our firefighters can get to and our police can get to, public protection, that kind of thing. Now, what we're faced is there's 400 miles of roads in Gilmer County. Only 200 are paved. It costs $80,000 a mile to pave the roads. We don't have the money right now. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get some money and grants to get us some more roads. This county is going to grow, but it won't grow satisfactorily without roads and bridges. Now, the bridges are going to be tough. We're going to have to get some good grants, and I think we can. We just had one done, and I think we can get the grants for more.
All right.
Excuse me. I'm very interested in getting grants, pursuing grants. They're all out there. I know that we have one person in the county who's been successful, and I think we need to keep him going after him and get more grants. The other thing is, I'm going to throw this into it too. When somebody comes out to Gilmer County with a business, they want to look for infrastructure. Where do I put this? And you've got to have roads for it. You've got to have roads. We don't have railroads running through here that can take materials made here out. Everything's going to be by trucking. We've got to have the roads.
Well, yeah, roads, water and sewer and electricity.
That's correct.
You got to put that in a box together if you're going to. Let's talk about economic development.
Well, let me finish one more on that then. There's one way you can get it, and I've brought this up before, and I don't think that everybody understands it. We've got to figure out a way, I believe, to do tax breaks for businesses that want to come here. Now, the first response I've gotten from people is that, well, we're not getting any tax money from them. Well, yes, we are, because we're providing jobs. Those people that come here to work with those places, they buy houses, they pay property tax, they pay sales tax. So we are gaining from it. It's only for a period of time to get somebody to come in. And I wanted to get that issue out.
Well, now that being said, taxes itself. Well, let me go back. You had three issues. You said with the pool, talking about roads and bridges, and then you said economic development.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think we have to do to spur more economic development in Gilmer County, and why was that your number three? Not in that order, but why was that one of your issues?
Well, there's no doubt that in this county there's going to be growth, and the way I like to say it, the way you can see it, is that 16 years ago when I came this way, you could pass Six's Road on 515, 575, and there'd be another car not in front of you all the way to Gilmer County. Now you can't get past Pickens County without having traffic jams. Things are moving this way. We've got to grow with it, and how we do that, again, economic growth. And we've got a couple gentlemen in this county, without saying names, that are doing a great job getting some in here. But we need to do more and bigger. The way we can do that is with, I think, the tax issue. Now, we're not going to be able to fight growth, but we can grow it where it's sustained. People say, well, we need more housing for entering housing. Yes, we do. And we've got good builders in this county that can do it and do good jobs at it. We've got to support them doing it. But we don't want another Atlanta situation where we end up with a bunch of quadruplexes, and in 10 years they're all falling apart. We've got good builders here that'll stop that. Now, again, why do our children graduate from Gilmer County and go away to school and don't come back? Jobs aren't here. It's our job to get the jobs here.
Right.
Here's another way to do it. And I've said this in the last run. we need to use what we have to do it. That river out there is beautiful. We can use that. We can put shops, restaurants, and all other kinds of things on both sides of the river with walker crosses. What an attraction that would be for tourism. You want to do tourism, do something like that. Bring them in here. Bring their money. That's all tax money. We need that tax money to make that $4 million payment.
Let me go into that $4 million payment. And what you're talking about for the viewers out there is we have an average of a $4 million bond payment every year. I'm just going to say 80 plus thousand million in debt. Thousand would be nice, wouldn't it? 80 plus million in debt, 4 million average bond payment a year. So let me ask you this. We have the SPLOST coming in. Mm-hmm. We have 1 mil that was put on property tax. Then it went up to 1.5 mil. Property owners in Gilmer County pay 1.5 mil just for the bond payment. Mm-hmm. That's right at $2 million, close to $2 million that's taken out of this county from the taxpayers.
Yes.
For that bond, that maybe that could stir economic development. So I guess I'll ask you this question, and I've been asking this of all candidates. Would you look at the 1.5, at least the 0.5 on the mill, and see if we're not in position now with the SPLOST to alleviate any kind of tax burden to the property tax owners? I mean, could you look at reducing taxes? And I won't pin you down on that. 2, if in office, would you make a commitment to the citizens not to raise their taxes? And 3, would you make a commitment not to go in any further debt in Gilmer County?
Well, number 1, I will not sign anything that is property tax increase during my term of office. That's it. That's done. It's high enough now. It's high enough now. And with the increasing school taxes we see every year, it's making it very tough on these people with moderate incomes to make the payments. Now, the second issue was what?
Well, I guess the last thing in that.
You said Gilmer County spend more money.
Would you make a commitment not to, at no point in your term, vote or agree to anything that would increase the debt in the county, take on more debt?
Absolutely. I would not sign anything to take on more debt.
Without being able to see all the numbers, and I want to be fair to the current administration, without being able to see all of the numbers, would you at least be open to looking at the 1.5 mil to see if any part of that can be alleviated from the taxpayers?
Oh, certainly. I'd certainly be willing to look at it. And that could possibly be one of our answers on these big hundreds of $1,000s of road machines we need to do it. That'd be a way to do it if it'll work. There's nothing that says you can't look at something like that and not find a surprise. And you can. I would study it, yes.
Economic engine. You talked about economic development. A couple quick things. We know what the SPLOST revenue was in 2009 and 10. It has grown enormously now, which we're very thankful the economy's doing well. But that being said, with the money coming in, I watched over the last 10 years, it's my opinion, and I want to be clear, this is my opinion, that the economic driver has been the Gilmer Chamber for the most part. And I won't say everything, but for the most part, agritourism, the Gilmer Chamber, being business friendly, trying to work with the small businesses. Do you support the Gilmer Chamber, and would you make sure that their budget currently, or maybe even more if necessary, to bring more economic development in? How do you see the Chamber and their role in this county?
Well, I think they're just a great part of the growth of the county. I think they've done a tremendous job in the last 6 or 8 years, where I have particularly watched them more. I think actually their budget with an increase and not reducing their budget would be beneficial in bringing more business in. They would probably need more help, the way I understand it.
So you would not, and the reason I say this is not to mention names, but there was a little bit of a push to end the contract with the chamber this past year. So you think the county should maintain a contract with the chamber and work with them to continue the direction they're going?
I think they absolutely should, and I would no way ever consider, at least in the current situation, of reducing their budget. In fact, the opposite is true. I would look at it very well to see if maybe their budget could be increased.
What would you have you looked at the budget recently, and if is there anything that stands out to you in the budget? Do you look at where we can tighten our belt anywhere, or maybe there's still offices out there, constitutional officers, that say they need more to operate? Have you had an opportunity to look that over?
Well, I've had that opportunity to look it over, and I think there's some issues that can be looked at. I think generally we're doing pretty well as far as looking at these things. I think the commissioners are doing a pretty fair job at that. But like in any business, there's always 5% somewhere. In all the experience I have, I've been able to find more ways that you can squeeze a little bit more out of a budget. Now, as far as the constitutional officers, we can't set their salaries or anything. I don't know if the people understand that comes from the governor's office.
Well, there's some departments and constitutional officers that say, they need more here and there to operate and so on and so forth. So I just wondered because now a department is roads and bridges and the maintenance, county road maintenance.
Sure.
I have heard that it's come back to me. I don't know, and I want to be clear here. I cannot tell the viewers I know 100%, but I've been told it was underfunded. It still needed, a better budget, a higher budget to operate, because if a lot of people are concerned about roads and bridges, that may be an area where it does need, more funding to operate. That could well be. And I'd look at that with a fine-tooth comb because it's very important. Let me ask you something that you did not wade into, and I try to get as many issues or as many subjects up.
Sure.
What has come up recently is Carter's Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you stand on the position of the Army Corps and the county possibly, and again, I want to be cautious with this, they're just talking right now, but where the Corps may close, boat ramps and the park areas, and the county look to take them over or figure out how to keep them open is the best words. How do you weigh in on what's going on with Carter's Lake?
Well, what I've heard about that discussed and what I've heard about the options are, et cetera, I believe, I'm not even going to say I'll go study it because I've heard enough of it. And my belief is that's not our business. I would vote no to take any part of that recreation thing because of one big reason is that there'll be people coming from all over the state, if not longer than that, using those facilities. And I can't imagine what a liability insurance problem we would have in that. I would suspect the first year or two, we'd have 2 lawsuits against the county because it wasn't being maintained properly. Somebody tripped over a trash can and saw the magic nickel coming. I'm against it. I don't think it's our business to be in that area. It's their land. Let them take care of it. If they can't do it, get out. Somebody else will take it.
Last time, and I do want to go back to the last time you ran with one subject. What do you feel the role is of a post commissioner, and how much of a role should, right now it's a part-time position, how much of a role in county government should the post commissioner be involved in and play, and what's your position on that?
It is a very, very misnamed position as part-time. My observation in all these years is it takes more than part-time to do the job properly. And I expect to do more than that. I don't understand how you can have your own outside business and still do a good job at that. The job is just too big. Now the function of the post commissioner. It is not a position to lead. It's a position to support the chairman. That doesn't mean you agree with him all the time. But when there's agreement and you should all be together, you should support him, you should research for him, and you should aid him. The chairman's job is tremendous, and those two people that are there need to be helped.
I want to tell you how much I appreciate you coming in today. Before we close, Mr. Tuso, what final message would you like to say to the voters? What is something maybe we didn't cover today you want to share with the viewers?
Well, I think we've pretty much covered it all. I just ask for the opportunity again to serve you, and I have made a guarantee that should I be elected in this election, that I'll also run for the next 4-year term. So,
this one is, and you did bring. Glad you brought that up. This is to complete a term, and you have to turn right around and start running again next year.
Next year.
So if elected, you commit to run for the next term.
Well, let's just say when elected, I'll run for the next one.
Okay. You said it. There you go. But I got it. Okay, yes. You do have to follow the next term.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jerry Tuso. He is on the ballot and under the name Jerry Tuso, Republican,
Yes,
for Post 1, Commissioner here in Gilmer County. Election day is Tuesday, November 5th. That's Tuesday, November 5th. And also, folks, early voting is happening now until Friday. We want to let you know here at FetcherNews.com, FYNTV.com, that all 5 candidates were invited to be here and interview with us. So to have a 30-minute interview. Again, thank you very much, and we appreciate it, and that's all for today.
Thank you.